I just want to say thank you to all the new subscribers and all the new people tuning in to my journey here in Detroit. We're showcasing the reality of the city, the good, the bad, the amazing, and the horrible. I appreciate every single one of you watching. I would like to hear from you. If there's anything you would like to see, any place in Detroit that you would like to see me go and explore. Also, if you're not from Detroit, what is going on in your city? We've covered a lot of stuff that's happening here in Detroit. All the new renovations of Michigan Central Station. I want to hear kind of what is going on around the US, also in places around the world. So let me know, and maybe I could do a little analysis and video on it. Thank you so much, and enjoy them big houses. Hey everybody, welcome in. We just got done with going around and showing off Palmer Park. If you didn't see that video, watch it after this one. But today, this is going to be part 2 of the 3-part series around this area in Palmer Park. We're going to be taking a look at 3 different neighborhoods. 2 of them are 2 of the wealthiest neighborhoods in all of Detroit. The first one's going to be Grixdale Farms, then we'll go to Palmer Woods, then we'll go to Sherwood Forest. And right now, Palmer Park is going to be to our left. We're heading towards Woodward Avenue, which is basically the main dividing street between the west side and the east side of Detroit. And I think today you're gonna learn a little something if you didn't know already, something called a little street by street. And what do I mean by that? I mean, there's gonna be areas, especially in this first neighborhood, where we're gonna look at a street that looks pretty bad, and then we're gonna look at a street that looks pretty good. And it's like, you know, one street, maybe 2 streets over. And so that's kind of a little story of Detroit. I'll talk about it in a second here. As you can see, Woodward Avenue, Palmer Park area. And actually on the left, you'll be able to see some of the rentable bicycles, the Mogo bikes. Also, we have some bird scooters here. They're, you know, a lot of them are centered around the downtown area because that's where a lot of tourists will be and use them. But hey, we got those. And right here, I'm trying to cross the street. It's a big street. I'm on a bicycle rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta go really fast, you know? In the words of Sonic, gotta go fast. Yeah, especially when you are, you know, trying to pedal a huge bicycle and not get in the way of anyone, but also not be honked at or anything like that. So you gotta pick your poison of when you go and just time it correctly and make sure to do everything legally. Yeah. But here we go. Let's turn into the neighborhood known as Grixdale Farms. And something while researching, I found a little bit of some testimonials, some people talking about when they actually used to live here. They grew up here back in like the 60s, 70s era of Detroit, and how it's really gone downhill. I didn't find much more information around that, but it's kind of the story, you've probably heard it a million times, the story of the decline of Detroit. This was once a thriving neighborhood, just like many other neighborhoods in Detroit, but you know, people moved away and some of these areas were left to rot and, you know, got crime done to them, burning of the houses, stripping of like materials inside, stuff like that that has happened in many of the rundown areas in Detroit. But I think there's a lot of advantages to this neighborhood in particular. It's right across the street from Palmer Park, right across Woodward Avenue. And, you know, I think it will take a very long time to invest in the neighborhood. allow it to come back, either knock down some of the houses and rebuild, or whatever you got to do. It's going to take, you know, multiple decades, I think, but different areas around Detroit will slowly come back sooner, and you know, there is that potential, because you always have the idea of Palmer Park. I talked about it in the last video, where, you know, Palmer Park can actually see some improvement going forward, and it already has. And so it's like, okay, like there's potential here, but I think this is a longer way than some of the other things I've showed on this channel. And it can still be a little good. I mean, look at this dude right here. This guy, he's trying to race me on his bike. Let's go. I believe, if I recall correctly, he said nice bike to me, which, thank you very much. I'm actually trying to fix a flat tire that I just had recently, so hopefully I can get that back up and running, and get back to recording some videos. And then, yeah, you got some kids right here. This guy's going crazy. He's having a ball out here. I don't know what he's doing. But then over here, right across the street from a neighborhood that might not have looked fantastic, it's a neighborhood that, well, looks a lot better. This is the idea, especially I have a lot of experience with this, having moved to Detroit. And you can pretty much tell if it's a good neighborhood or bad neighborhood depending on how it looks. If the lawns are taken care of, if it seems to be some nurture to the houses, it's probably a good area. Whereas if there's broken in windows, super long grass in the yard, then, well, it's probably in a bad area. And that's what I've heard from residents of Detroit. Whereas in other places across the nation that I know of, it could be looking pretty nice. Maybe it's a newer house or something, but it could actually be in one of the most crime-ridden areas in that city. Just something I learned coming to Detroit, and especially if you're moving and looking to move into Detroit, either you come see the neighborhoods, see what the neighborhoods look like, the different houses in the streets next to you, or have your real estate agent do that, or have yourself go look at Google Maps. That's what I did, obviously. I'm a Google Maps Marty, so I did that for sure. And you kind of have to just gauge your tolerance. Can you see yourself living in that area? And that's kind of what you need to decide when moving to Detroit, at least in some areas. Tree work ahead. I made come on, man. I sure hope it. Nah, I won't even do it. But I made that joke in a couple videos ago when it was road work ahead. It's a classic joke. Come on, man. I couldn't let it pass up when it was tree work ahead. What's it gonna work on? Photosynthesis? Yeah. Let's get some oxygen going in the chats. Sheesh. Anyways, here we are going along 7-mile road, heading towards Palmer Woods, the wealthy neighborhoods over here. And then left side, Palmer Park. That's where it's at. We just crossed Woodward Avenue. So we're heading to the wealthier neighborhoods. And then in the next video, we're going to be heading to a neighborhood that's also pretty nice. Not as nice as this, maybe. And it's going to be around the University of Detroit Mercy, the University District. But here we go. Palmer Woods. This is the neighborhood right here we're starting off in. And look at the curb. There is no curb. And that was how it was designed. The lawn, the sidewalk, the street, it's all on the same level, no curbs, okay? And it was specifically designed for wealthy people to live here in Detroit. And so, okay, what's so special about it? Well, it takes advantage of the forest. Look at all the trees, especially in Palmer Woods. The last video you saw some of that. Yes, it took advantage of that and wanted to keep that intact in this neighborhood. Also, each different part of this neighborhood are different, with the houses and the streets and the windy roads. That was intentional. It is probably some of the dumbest road and street design that you can have, but hey, it doesn't really matter if you're rich, right? I mean, I guess. Either way, fun fact, Mayor Mike Duggan actually lives here in Palmer Woods. And you look at some of the grandiose houses here. The prices, I tried to do some research on like the prices. Not many listings over here, mostly because like people are probably owning and staying in this area if they already live here. And then also, recently sold houses, try to look at that. And what you can find is kind of like $300,000 to $800,000. And you're gonna get like 4 or 5 bedrooms with that. And it's a sick joke. Like, that's insane, especially like being in one of the most populous and historic cities in Detroit. Speaking of historic, these 2 neighborhoods that we're going to show, Sherwood Forest and Palmer Woods here, are in fact historic neighborhoods. Both started in the 1920s or around that era. But like where I'm from, about an hour north of San Francisco, median home is like $800,000, and the median income is about the same as this neighborhood, like around $100,000. This neighborhood is $115,000. So it's like you get more bang for your buck here in Detroit. So it's, I don't know what to say other than it seems kind of insane. And this house we're coming up on is the largest house in all of Detroit. Guess how many rooms are in it? Come on, guess. 60, what, how many? 62, count them. 62 rooms, what the heck? It's called the Bishop House, and it was originally built for the Fisher brothers. They gave it to the Bishop of Detroit, I guess. They died eventually, and then another bishop went in, and then eventually it was sold to an NBA player, and then it was sold to eventually now it's in the hands of a historic home collector from California. I guess everyone has their niche. I didn't know those people were real, I guess. But it also said that he bought it for over $2.5 million. So if he bought it for around, I don't know the exact number, but around $2.5 million, that's kind of insane. That's like the average house in San Francisco. Bruh, what the heck? Getting literally the largest house in all of Detroit is just the average price for the San Francisco home. Not really, it's a bit of an over-exaggeration, at least at the moment. San Francisco prices, the median isn't that high, but still, it's not that far off, and that's, oh man, I don't know what to say about that. Either way, as psychotic as that sounds, we're going to be heading over to Sherwood Forest now. And in case you forgot, we are in the US of A, the United States of America, as you see the flag there. The dealio with Sherwood Forest is it's a similar looking neighborhood. They seem to have a tighter knit community. At least they have their own website, and they kind of boasted about some of the things as we get into Sherwood Forest here. Some of the things they did to kind of preserve the tranquility of the neighborhood over the years, over the decades, and I guess over the centuries since it's been around for that long. I kind of don't know if they had too much power. I couldn't really tell that, but I think it is also fair to keep what you have if it's, looking this nice, to be honest. Preserving the forest, the nature around the area, and then just reducing kind of the noise element. They stopped an airport from being built not too far from here. So, you can read up some more on that, but these two communities, the wealthy ones, they've got a security sort of deal, some guards. I'm not sure exactly the system, but some sort of security system that keeps them safe as well. And so these are kind of the luxury homes, and maybe you're not interested in living in them, but it is interesting to see that, hey, Detroit is one of the poorest cities in the US, but hey, it also has neighborhoods like this, which have basically mansions in some cases that are relatively affordable. High income earners live here, and it's just kind of separate from the rest of the city. So it's just interesting trying to spread the information on Detroit. Like, there's these areas that I don't think many people ever talk about, at least unless you're literally in the Detroit metro area, I guess. So we'll be headed in the next video to University District. I think it's a bit more affordable, although I looked at the home prices and they've gone up significantly, so you may have missed your chance to get in really low. You could still get in at a reasonable price, at least on the grand scale of housing in the US, which is also another crazy thing. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in that next video, and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more of Detroit and other places when I get to those. Thanks again. Peace out.